ET Council, War with Grey Draco Reptilian ETs is 1, No False Flag ET Invasion. By Alfred Lambermont Webber, J.D., Med. In an exclusive Exopolitics TV interview by Alfred Lambermont Webber with a human representative contactee of the Extraterrestrial Governance Council known as the Andromeda Council, it has been revealed that the war of liberation against a fourth-dimensional Orion Grey and Draco Reptilian alliance has been won by the forces of the Andromeda Council as of the third quarter of 2011. The attempted occupation of Earth, our Moon and Mars by this Grey Reptilian alliance is over. The defeated Grey Reptilian forces have been sent via Stargate into the far reaches of our universe. The Andromeda Council representative states in his Exopolitics TV interview that the forces of the fourth-dimensional Orion Grey and Draco Reptilian forces that remain on Earth consist of small pockets of isolated forces around such as Washington, D.C. According to the Andromeda Council representative, the defeat of the Orion Grey and Reptilian occupation force on Earth, Moon and Mars has the effect of leaving the Illuminati and Anunnaki power structure on Earth, Moon and Mars without any effective fourth-dimensional backup. Any attempt by the remaining Grey and Reptilian forces to assist Illuminati false flag ET invasion will be defeated, and any false flag ET invasion will fail. Readers can listen to Exopolitics TV interview with the Andromeda Council representative embedded in the article above and at the URL below. Listen to interview. Andromedan Earth Representative Contactee. The human representative of the Andromeda Council states he has been given the Andromedan name Tolek. Tolek is a well-adjusted 20-year career professional in the computer industry. In his Exopolitics TV interview, Tolek states he was first contacted in 1993 by his principal Andromedan contact who took him on 3 time travel journeys via Andromedan spacecraft to the 1840s western U.S., visiting the same 1840s family to observe their live journey. Tolek states that his Andromeda contacts ended subsequent to the 1993 contacts until the Andromedan Council contacted him again in September 2010. In his Exopolitics TV interview, Tolek states that he receives information updates from his Andromeda Council contacts in a number of modalities. Telepathic communication with Andromedan representatives. Automatic writing from Andromedan representatives. Communication in the dream state with Andromedan representatives. Visions from the Andromedan representatives. Interdimensional travel of his soul essence to a venue of communication, such as an Andromedan biosphere. According to Tolek, the Andromeda Council has a number of biospheres, or large planetoid-like spherical spacecraft stationed around Earth. One such biosphere has 26 stories and a staff of 50,000. Galactic governance. What is the Andromeda Council? The Andromeda Council is a reported galactic governance council composed of selected star system representatives that carry out governance and development functions in a selected areas of the populated and organized universe. According to Tolek, an Andromeda Council contactee and representative, the chaired members of the Andromeda Council comprise a total of 12 distinct representative council member races. The council has a non-voting chairman from the star system Zeniti, planet Tishti, and a non-voting vice-chairwoman from the star system Mirak, planet Tiriel, both in the Andromeda constellation. These two people, as many on the Andromeda Council, live and vibrate in a fourth-dimension density reality. There is one council member per seat. Many of the member races of the Council are acknowledged throughout the universe to be some of the same races that originally seeded Earth hundreds of thousands of years ago, as evidenced by the variety of humans on the planet today. It is said these races have already been through the process of transformation, of upliftment, the elevated vibration, density, and spiritual consciousness of the fourth dimension. Members of the Andromeda Council are from the star systems and planets listed below. 1. Star System, Arcturus. Planet, Patala 2. Star System, Antares. Planet, Nicoti 3. Star System, M103. Planet, Legola 4. Star System, Procyon. Planet, Kaina 5. Star System, Vega. Planet, Percula 6. Star System, Capella. Planet, Persei 7. Star System, Polaris. Planet, Ventra. 8. Star System, Sirius A. Planet, Tolika 9. Star System, Deneb. Planet, Riddle 10. Star System, Tau Ceti. Planet, Zeta 11. Star System, Alhena. Planet, Degaroth 12. Star System, Betelgeuse. Planet, Etorth. Members of the Andromeda Council not holding one of the senior, 12-chaired seats hold board positions of investigation, research, deliberation, and advisement to the Andromeda Council. They do this on 13 unique, joint councils or advisory boards. There are 5 to 6 people on each joint council or advisory board. Collectively, these advisory boards represent in excess of 400+ representative planets from 3 star systems including Arcturus. Therefore, the majority, the greater percentage of the advisory board members comes from different star systems and planets other than the planet where a chaired Andromeda Council member is from. There is a chairperson, or otherwise named, to each advisory board. They are as follows: 1. Higher Dimensional Realm Advisory Board. 2. Star System Membership Review Board. 3. Galactic Federation of Planets Review Board. 4. Exobiology Galaxy Advisory Board. 5. Xenobiology Galaxy Advisory Board. 6. Oceanography Galaxy Advisory Board. 7. Space Travel Dimensional Flight Technology Review Board. 8. Planetary Medical Advisory Board. 9. Universe Education Observation and Advisory Board. 10. Telepathy and Vocal Communication Observation and Advisory Board. 11. Galaxy Sector Planetary Exploration Discovery and Assessment Team. 12. Military Threat Level Assessment and Advisory Board. 13. Spiritual and Emotional Mastery Dimensional Assessment and DevL Board. According to Tolek, there are also other affiliated councils, or races, some formal members of the Andromeda Council, some not, willing to help the people of planet Earth in its process of evolution. One of the affiliated councils is the Galactic Federation, which is a federation of star systems and planets of benevolent beings. The Galactic Federation is comprised of approximately 140 star systems, and at present 300 planets. It is led by a chairman from the Tau Ceti star system, which itself has a formal seat, is a senior chaired member of the Andromeda Council. The Federation's lead planet is Zeta. It is expected over the course of the next few years as planet Earth adjusts to its new life in the fourth dimension, as well as being part of a greater family of intelligent life that is thriving across the cosmos, planet Earth will be invited as a single member to join the Galactic Federation. 1999 Andromeda Council meeting about Grey Reptilian occupation of Earth. In his renewed contacts starting September 2010, Tolek states that the Andromeda Council informed him that the Council had met and decided on a war of liberation of Earth, Moon and Mars around 1999 Earth time. The Orion Greys and Draco Reptilians were abusing the people of Earth, and beaming negative frequencies at Earth from the Moon and from Phobos, a moon of Mars. The Andromedans had gone forward in time and had discovered that if the Grey Reptilians were allowed to go on with their abusive occupation of Earth, Moon and Mars, the Grey Reptilians would establish a tyranny in this sector of the universe. The Andromedans themselves and a great many star systems would be affected negatively. Therefore, the Andromedan Council decided to set aside the law of non-intervention and wage a war of liberation that has gone on for approximately 9 years to the third quarter of 2011. A war in space. Andromeda Council representative Tolek states, a war in space, in many cases happening just outside of Earth space over the course of approximately 9 years of Earth time, is as of this third quarter of 2011 in the final cleanup phase. This war is finally over. Done. Finished. As Tolek for the Andromeda Council, I can tell you my colleagues had a long, hard, difficult war. I will add, this war is being won by the good guys by the combined forces of the member star systems and planets of the Andromeda Council, those with Earth and Earth humans' best interests in their hearts, minds and souls. This proxy war to free Earth, from thousands of years of negative energy bombardment, manipulation and control, was fought on behalf of Earth, by star system and planetary council member races of the Andromeda Council. Those members that bore the brunt of the burden did the greatest amount of fighting included Arcturus, Tau Ceti, and Procyon. The contributions of the Procyon people were especially valuable because they learned the weaknesses of these malevolent menaces, they learned how to sniff them out and beat them. The people of Procyon just recently liberated themselves within the past 12 years of Earth time. So that the Council could intercede on Earth's behalf, extensive discussions were held, and a new law was passed overriding what is ubiquitously known as the Prime Directive of Non-Interference. A conscious, collective decision was made by the Council to break precedent and do this. Because Earth's people living a third-dimensional life just did not have the fourth-dimensional physiology, knowledge, tools, or technology to win. This war was fought to secure the total freedom of planet Earth and her people from the menacing interference of primarily two regressive races, reptilians from the star system Alpha Draconis and Hydra, and a specific variety of renegade Greys, now living in the Orion star system. These Greys are the progeny of Zeta Reticulans who have not been home to Zeta Reticuli 1 or 2 in at least a few thousand years. Earth is not the only planet they have terrorized. From what I have learned, there are at least another 21 planets that need to be freed from these menaces. Fortunately, they can be beaten, as indicated by the liberation of the Procyon people from these malevolent, self-centered, self-serving, life-draining entities. Note, of the Grey races, the prime ancestor race, the original Reticulans from the binary star system Reticuli, the ones who in their waning days exhibited awareness of themselves, their fallibility, and the fragility of life. And realizing the pending death of their race, these original Zeta Reticulans not affiliated with the Draco Reptilians, were willing to share all they had learned. Due to their humility, the Andromeda Council intervened, stepped in and helped relocate them to a completely different star system. These people, the original Zeta Reticulans, no longer live in the Zeta Reticuli star system. All other known variety of renegade Greys causing problems on Earth are being dealt with, and are being removed from their underground and undersea bases on Earth, as are the Draco Reptilians. Their operational bases established for years on Mars, and Earth's moons, have already been cleared out of these beings. Likewise, about 5,000 crossbreed aka hybrid Grey human life forms, programmed since birth, will need to be removed from Earth and deprogrammed so that they can evolve on their own into free-thinking, free-willed beings. And, since they are a new sentient life form, they will relocate to their own new third-dimension planet. Back to the war. The primary reason for this war was to negate and eliminate the effect of what is believed to be thousands of years of negative energies constantly beamed to planet Earth, as well as etheric implant technologies utilized by a Draco Reptilian and Grey Orion alliance that has put and kept many Earth humans manipulated, controlled, and in a continued state of fear, anxiety and insecurity, and to eliminate for good these malevolent entities who desire to continue to use, manipulate and steal people as a natural resource, and drain other precious resources from planet Earth. All the while controlling and enslaving a large percentage of an unaware and helpless Earth human population. Tolek concludes, the Council felt Earth's people deserved an opportunity, a real chance to evolve on their own after thousands of years of manipulation, control and unaware enslavement. Congruent with statements of other Andromedan contactees. The information that Tolek states the Andromeda Council gave him is congruent with other information reportedly independently given to other contactees by other extraterrestrial or interdimensional sources naming themselves the Andromeda Council. One independent Andromedan contactee source states, the Andromedan Council is a group of beings from 139 different star systems that come together and discuss what is going on in the galaxy. It is not a political body. What they have been recently discussing is the tyranny in our future, 357 years from now, because that affects everybody. Apparently what they have done, through time travel, is that they have been able to figure out where the significant shift in energy occurred that causes the tyranny 357 years in our future. They have traced it back to our solar system, and they have been able to further track it down to Earth, Earth's moon and Mars, those three places. The very first meeting the Andromedan Council had was to decide whether or not to directly intervene with what was going on here. According to Marini, there were only 78 systems that met this first time. Of those 78, just short of half decided that they wanted nothing to do with us at all, regardless of the problems. I think it is really important that you know why they wanted nothing to do with us. We are talking about star systems that are hundreds of millions of light years away from us. Even some who have never met us. They just knew the vibration of the planet reflected those on it. The reasons why they wanted nothing to do with us is that from their perspective, Earth humans don't respect themselves, each other or the planet. What possibly can be the value of Earth humans? Fortunately, the majority of the Council gave the opinion that because Earth has been manipulated for over 5,700 years, that we deserved an opportunity to prove ourselves, to at least have a shot at proving the other part of the Council wrong. They want everything extraterrestrial on the planet, in the planet and Earth's moon out of here. The reason for this is that they want to see how we will act when we are not being manipulated. We are all being manipulated, and my first suggestion is to throw your television set away. I can't tell you how sincere I am about that. They are teaching you what to think, not how to think. If you give that up, you become a robot. You become sheeple. Congruent with 1964 U.S. intelligence estimate on Greys and Reptilians, the statements of these two independent Andromedan contactees regarding damaging effects of an attempted Orion Grey and Draco Reptilian occupation of Earth, Moon and Mars are congruent with U.S. intelligence and whistleblower estimates about Grey and Reptilian plans for the Earth-Moon-Mars. As this reporter has written earlier, in his book, Michael Prince reveals that in 1964 U.S. intelligence agencies had concluded that a Grey Reptilian extraterrestrial alliance had a timetable for a planetary takeover of Earth sometime during the 2030 period. He writes, on April 15, 1964, two U.S. intelligence personnel met under Project Plato with the Greys in the New Mexico desert to arrange a meeting on April 25 at Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico. This meeting was to renew the treaty that had started in 1934 again and was a psychological bid to buy time in order to solve the problem of the Greys and Draco Reptilians. The upper levels of U.S. intelligence now believed the Greys and Dracos had this planet timetabled for invasion and takeover between the years 2000 and 2030. Washington, D.C., no false flag ET attack. Regarding the possibility of a future false flag ET attack, Tolek indicated, the Andromeda Council is very aware of the much higher than average number of UFO sightings over this relatively small area of land, Washington, D.C., known as the seat of our nation's government. The AC first showed me a grid, a network of underground tunnels, spreading out from Washington, D.C. upward toward the hills, where the remaining Greys and Reptilians are still roaming around attempting to cause trouble. The Greys are currently positioning themselves at strategic underground tunnel locations at various points underneath the city, preparing for a coordinated false flag, fake attack event. The AC intelligence people are keenly aware of these activities. However, the Greys and Reptilians are fighting for their lives. They know the game for control and power is slipping away, and is almost up. They know the war is over. They know they have lost. They are playing their last hand. Out of the total number of sightings, only a small percent are real physical craft. The percentages of holographic versus real physical UFO craft are as follows. Total UFO ships over Washington, D.C. 100% Grey and Reptilian holographic UFO ships. 65% Cabal Earth-based UFO ships. 10% Andromeda Council-based cloud ships or orbs of light. 13% Grey and Reptilian physical UFO scout craft. 12% The AC knows about this visual display of craft. They are not overly concerned. They are monitoring this situation, and they do understand why it is being done in such a concentrated manner. Saturation of UFO visual images, the Reptilians and Greys, in collusion with the controllers Illuminati Cabal, in a last-ditch attempt to incite fear into the human populace. These malevolent entities are attempting to incite fear with this saturation of visual images of UFOs, much like the entertainment media, the movie industry, which is controlled by the controllers Illuminati Cabal, is doing this summer. It is no different, producing, promoting and showing large-scale movies of ETs invading Earth, or attacking Earth, blowing up cities, killing hundreds of people, etc. All in an attempt to promote a sense of fear. And an attempt to retain control. An attempt. In summary, their plans are not going to work. An attack by the Greys and or Reptilians, even a false flag event, coordinated with help by the controllers Illuminati the Cabal, a staged fake attack, will not happen. The AC intelligence network already in place will advise the Council of the near-future fake attack, and, right before it would happen, our AC people will intervene and shut down the process before it can even manifest or happen. That is to say, the AC would pull the plug. Tolek concludes, as a result of the failure of this planned false flag, fake attack event, the Greys and Reptilians in those underground tunnels are going to try to make a run for it, leaving D.C. flying to a centralized location of underground bases still operating here on Earth. AC-based craft of various types will follow and chase down the Greys and Reptilians to this central location, capture them, take them and put them into a Stargate, and send them to the far reaches of the universe. These are the same kind of actions the AC has already used to get rid of, to relocate, Greys and Reptilians at the tail end of the war in space. End of the New World Order. aftermath of the end of the Orion Grey Draco Reptilian War. A victory of the Andromeda Council forces as reported by Tolek, if confirmed, means that now Earth will not have to face any ongoing enslavement by the occupying fourth-dimensional Grey Reptilian force or its third-dimensional rollout known as the New World Order. The New World Order, having lost its galactic originators and backup in the Orion Greys and Draco Reptilians, appears to ultimately at a dead end. Tolek states, it is known by the Chief Medical Officer and staff of the medical team of the Andromeda Council that a large percentage of Earth's population was unknowingly implanted and negatively affected by Grey etheric and physical implant technology. Meant to keep Earth humans in a state of anxiety, fear, manipulation, and control. Though some physical implants have been found and removed by Earth physicians, at Earth's current stage of evolution and technology it does not yet have the means to detect, measure or eliminate the Greys' use of etheric implants. Now, in the final cleanup phase of this war, and beyond, for Earth's freedom, the Andromeda Council medical team is working tirelessly, and will continue to do so, to clean up the mess, the implants, the resulting spiritual, psychological and emotional impact and damage. And multiple problems the Greys have created as they have unlawfully sought to enslave an unaware human population on this planet. Earth's people have a right to a fresh, clean, new beginning. Free from the serious residual, psychological and emotional effects brought on by the Greys, the Reptilians, and all their technology. Tolek concludes, the healing process of the human race must continue, and will continue, throughout the transition and transformation time as Earth and her people move into the higher spiritual vibration of the fourth dimension. As healthy, free, sovereign human beings. How to evaluate the Andromeda Council report of the victory over the Grey Reptilian occupation. A. The Andromeda Council report. The Andromeda Council report is based on one human individual's report, Toltek's, of interactive dimensional communications with a source that has identified itself as a representative of the Andromeda Council. There are no independent third-party witnesses to these communications between Tolek and the source identifying itself as the Andromeda Council. B. Reasons to grant credence. Their substantive reasons to grant this human individual Tolek, the source identifying itself as the Andromeda Council, and the substance of their report that the Orion Grey and Reptilian extraterrestrial faction credence as being exactly what they are, namely. Tolek indicates he is a 20-year veteran of the computer industry of good moral character and a stable family life. Tolek has provided this reporter with some limited information about his personal life that appears to substantiate this as true. Tolek indicates his need to continue to earn a living in the finance computer sector as a primary reason to hide his human identity. Tolek was contacted by an Andromedan representative in 1993 and taken on 3 time travel journeys via spaceship to visit a U.S. family in the 1840s West. Scenarios such as this are common in the extraterrestrial contactee literature. There are independent contactee statements that the Andromedan Council exists as a galactic governance council, and was concerned about the impacts of the Orion Grey and Draco Reptilian occupations of Earth, Moon and Mars. Independent researchers have concluded that U.S. intelligence was concerned about an Orion Grey and Draco Reptilian occupation of Earth sometime in 2000 to 2030. Independent eyewitnesses have stated that building a common defense perimeter with Mars against a fourth-dimensional extraterrestrial enemy from outside the solar system was one of the purposes of the U.S. bases on Mars. Independent researchers have concluded that the Orion Grey and Draco Reptilians extraterrestrials have been defeated and are no longer a presence on the Earth. Transforming the Earth. Removing a deadly Reptilian undersea base from the Gulf of Aden. USGS registered 5.0 earthquake. Andromeda Council, Gulf of Aden 5.0 quake, undersea Reptilian base destroyed. 5.0 earthquake. Gulf of Aden, Reptilian undersea base destroyed. Confirmation of undersea base strike. Tolek's statement reads as follows: yes, I was able to confirm this event with the commander of the primary biosphere where many of the Andromeda Council meetings are held. This was a strike by the Procyon people. They're just doing their job as promised. This base is now completely collapsed and destroyed. Location of the undersea base. Take a look at the second map, the Google map, from the Andromeda Council. Removing Reptilian undersea bases from Middle East and China. Breaking news report, the one off the southern Saudi Arabian Yemen-Oman Peninsula, south of Yemen, where the Gulf of Aden is spelled out in tiny white letters against the deep blue Gulf water. To the left of these words, Gulf of Aden, you will see a small square box. At the meeting of the vertical left line and horizontal top line in the far left-hand corner, exactly due west of this corner is where the base was located. You can more exactly place it just north of a relatively small hill that you can see on this map. This is where the base was, just north of this hill. And next to, just west of that small hill, is a mountain range. The actual strike. The people from Procyon were able to, again, using a specific, pinpointed, sonic beam. They first aimed directly at what they found was the weakest part of the protective energy shield over this domed base. They kept focusing this sonic beam on this area of the shield, until they finally broke through. He showed me images of buildings collapsing unto themselves. With intense pressure that deep underwater, it absolutely hastened the collapsing of all the structures inside the base. The amount of water rushing in was amazing. In addition, he showed me they also hit the mountain range just due west of that hill and the base, to bury the remains of this undersea base under tons of mountain rubble. If you overlay these two maps, these locations match exactly. In closing, I asked for a confirmation, from the commander, that this particular base had been completely destroyed and that no additional action was needed. He said, yes, it is completely destroyed. Transforming the Earth. Removing a deadly Reptilian undersea base from the East China Sea. 6.9 quake with planet-wide energy pulse. Andromeda Council, East China Sea. 6.9 quake, undersea reptilian base destroyed. 6.9 quake, East China Sea. Reptilian undersea base destroyed. Confirmation of strike on Reptilian undersea base. I was notified earlier today during work meetings, via telepathy, and I was able to confirm with the commander of the primary biosphere where many of the Andromeda Council meetings are held, the final destruction of this specific Draco and Hydra Reptilian controlled undersea base. This is the base that was on the ocean floor in the East China Sea. This is how he's always referred to it. The East China Sea undersea base. The result of the final, crippling sonic energy beam strike the people from Procyon used today destroyed this undersea complex, and created an amazing decompression resulting in a 6.9 quake on the ocean floor, resulting in the total collapse and destruction of this base. Location of this specific undersea base. Alfred, you have 3 maps of Asia and China that I sent to you. 2 of them are Google Maps that identify the specific location and focus on the East China Sea, which is the area of what was the specific location of the Reptilian undersea base, off of the China coast. You will note the time and date stamp of 2 of these JPG maps as being from many days ago, on November 2, 2011, as I indicated back then. This specific undersea base was located in the East China Sea. This prior date information of these maps is a key aspect as to the validity of this information, the actual location of this undersea base specifically located in the East China Sea. Plainly put, confirming corollary data. I've also included a Google map dated today, November 8, 2011, titled, 6.9 quake, East China Sea. This is the 3rd map which shows the location of the 6.9 quake, which matches exactly with the earlier November 2, 2011 maps, identifying the location of the Reptilian undersea base in the East China Sea. Take a look at this first map of Asia, this one on the front cover focusing on China, that has the names of all of the cities. This map in my formal report on the Exopolitics website is called, Asia Focus on China Image 1. Again, though it's on the front cover, you can see looking below. Look at the middle part of China. And follow this all the way to the east coast of the country. You will see the words in the ocean off of the China coast written in white letters saying, East China Sea. These words are stacked one on top of each other. The location of this specific undersea reptilian base was just right on the word sea, specifically on the first letter, S. One could also describe this location, based on this map, as being in the East China Sea, on the ocean floor, due east of the city of Fuzhou, the capital and one of the largest cities in Fujian province. The actual efforts to take out this base. The initial attack on this base began last Wednesday, November 2 RD 2011, only a few days after the Gulf of Aden base had been completely destroyed. The people of Procyon in this specific police action, continued over the course of many days with additional sonic beam strikes in an attempt to destroy this undersea base. As you can figure out, it took 7 days of literal strikes to finally break through, hitting what they believed was the weakest part of the Reptilian energy shield protecting this base. Even with this constant pounding, the Reptilians operating this base did everything possible to keep diverting power from other areas of their base, to in effect reinforce and repair their energy shield to keep it going. The people of Procyon kept striking this area over and over again, and hitting spots around this area, to weaken it as much as possible. After 7 days, they finally broke through, today, Tuesday, November 8, 2011. The final strike that punctured the base dome energy shield resulted in the 6.9 undersea quake. And again, like the base in the Gulf of Aden, at the moment the final sonic beam strike punctured their energy shield, it created just an amazing decompression resulting in a 6.9 quake on the ocean floor. The total resulting collapse and destruction of this base. And destruction of the transmitter that was constantly pumping out fear, anxiety, control, and manipulation attenuated frequencies from this undersea base to the Asia continent, reaching from as far north as the Koreas to as far south as Laos. Note, there is an explanation as to why this was a much bigger, more intense quake than the quake in the Gulf of Aden. This base was much, much larger than just a base in the purest sense. This was a large complex, with many, many buildings under its dome. It was the size of a small city, very well fortified, a very large-scale operation, many, many buildings. According to the commander of the Andromeda Council Biosphere, and I'll quote him here, this was the most fortified base of all the Reptilian undersea bases. At the moment of this final strike, the one that led to the destruction of this base, the commander showed me images of massive explosions, multiple buildings that were simultaneously exploding and or imploding and collapsing onto themselves. Like the last undersea base, with intense pressure this far deep underwater, once they finally broke though and punctured the energy shield. Immediately the collapse started to occur, and the remaining parts of the base collapsed onto itself. Water rushing in from everywhere. Summary conclusion. Everyone should know, the commander also told me there is now an impression on the ocean floor of where this base used to be, about the shape of a large shallow bowl that someone would see if they were able to explore this area. Even now that this base is destroyed, this impression exists. Again, this job done was done by the Procyon people, a senior member of the Andromeda Council, holding the 4th member seat. I want to give credit where credit is due. I asked for a confirmation from the commander that this specific base had been completely destroyed and that no additional action was needed. He said, yes, this base is now completely collapsed and destroyed. You should all know, according to the commander, there are some additional underground and undersea Reptilian lead and controlled bases that still need to be taken out. The Gulf of Aden and the East China Sea bases were the most challenging, and the most difficult, for reasons that I outlined in the first report on this topic, Andromeda Council, removing Reptilian undersea bases from Middle East and China. You can find this story at. However, he reminded me that the remaining bases will be relatively easy to take out. They are just in locations which are much easier to access, and therefore much easier take out. In closing, the goal of these policing actions by the people of the Andromeda Council has always been to ensure the complete, total safety and freedom of all humans on this planet. Again, Earth is our world. We have a right to determine our future as free sovereign human beings. Taking out these Reptilian bases is one of the last final steps to ensure our safety and freedom. Addendum. Clarification of undersea base complex location and quake epicenter. Many days ago on November 2, while discussing with the commander of the primary Andromeda Council Biosphere the location of the next undersea base to be taken out, he directed me to look at the multicolored map, Asia Focus on China Image 1. And he directed me to look at an area east of the China coast to a spot in the ocean east of the city of Hangzhou. That the undersea Reptilian base would be located in the area of the word East, written in white letters, for East China Sea. Then 2 days ago on November 8, when he directed me to look at that same map as I listed above, he this time directed me to look east of the China coast to an area more southern, east of the city of Fuzhou, a spot in the ocean. Located on the word Sea, written in white letters, again, 4 East China Sea. Some of you are legitimately asking questions as to why the difference in locations. Therefore, I took the opportunity today to ask the commander about why the difference in locations. It's a valid question. He showed me some images of what this expansive base used to look like. And he gave me an answer, a legitimate answer. I'm going to quote what he said. The main base, and largest base out of this whole undersea complex, where there was a huge generator and where the frequency transmitter was located, beaming the fear and anxiety frequencies toward mainland China. This base was in fact located in the area of the word east, as I showed Tolek on the map. Running south from this main base was a very large complex of tunnels with multiple buildings, some large, some smaller. Think of the large complex of underground tunnels and bases that used to exist beneath your state of New Mexico, underground, in the United States. I provide this image to you as an analogy. Again, keep in mind this specific undersea base off of the coast of China was a large complex, the largest of them all on your planet. The actual area just north of the word sea was the terminus for where this base complex ended. The buildings in this area were smaller. And the tensile strength of the reptilian energy shield in this area was not nearly as strong as the rest of the base complex. It was much like an outpost, which was used primarily for storage. After days of focusing strikes on the main base area farther north, the people from Procyon tested other areas of the energy shield, and believed it easier to penetrate this specific, more remote section of this extensive undersea base complex. They then pounded this section for days and finally broke through. This then created a triggering effect to destroy all of the other northward sections of this base complex, including the farthest north main base. However, this is why the decompression quake was registered in this specific area, south of the main base. This is where the people from Procyon broke through. In closing, I Tolek take complete responsibility for everything I convey, everything I say that is released and printed. I'm human. I do my best to be as accurate as humanly possible in reporting everything I learn from my Andromedan contacts. Please also understand, many times, they only reply to a specific question I ask. If I don't ask any further, then they don't provide any additional information. I probably should have originally asked, how big is this base? How far does it extend? I didn't do this. This was my mistake. For this I apologize. And I'm sorry for any confusion I might have caused for you. You always deserve a complete answer. The good news is, now you have a complete answer, and better understanding of what has been eliminating the Earth. Removing a strategic, massive reptilian undersea base, the area of Southeast Bay of Bengal. 5.1 USGS undersea quake. Andromeda Council, Nicobar Islands, Southeast Bay of Bengal 5.1 quake. Extensive undersea reptilian base complex destroyed. Magnitude 5.1 Nicobar Islands, India region Nicobar Islands, Southeast Bay of Bengal. Extensive reptilian, pencil-shaped undersea base destroyed. Prior notification of next strategic reptilian undersea base to be taken out and destroyed. On February 3, 2012 late in the evening, after having received a telepathic communication from the commander of the primary Andromeda Council biosphere I provided to Alfred Webra of Exopolitics, via email. An advanced notice report of 2 strategic reptilian undersea bases that remain to be taken out and destroyed. You will notice in the image to the right, which is a partial extraction of a global National Geographic map of the various ocean floor ridges, rises and formations I previously provided to Alfred Webra on the evening of February 3, 2012, the location of this specific, extensive, undersea reptilian base, again, the beginning of which is marked with a small white box, and crosshairs, indicating the beginning location of the base which runs the full north-south length of this undersea ridge. This land formation, this ridge, is called the 90 East Ridge. It is located just due west of northern Cocos Basin, and due west of the island of Sumatra. I indicated in my February 3 report that numerous recent ongoing earthquakes that had been felt in the western Indonesian region had weakened the structure of the ocean floor, which would make the job easier for the Procyon people to destroy this base. I also indicated in that report to Mr. Webra, the destruction of that base would happen sometime before or by mid-February 2012. The actual date of the 5.1 magnitude undersea earthquake was February 15, 2012. Today, the date of this report, is February 16, 2012. Location and description of this specific undersea quake. Date, February 15, 2012. Time, 18:31 and 57 seconds p.m. Location, 6.35 n, 93.00 e, and 29.9 kilometers deep. The location to the right marked by an orange star is the actual location of the 5.1 undersea quake. A complete written description, maps and technical specifications of this quake are available online with the USGS at. As I indicated in my preliminary report of February 3, 2012, this region has been hit over time by numerous earthquakes. The image below indicates the location and number of quakes in this region since 1990. Again, in this below image, you will also find the location of this specific quake marked by an orange star. Confirmation of 5.1 undersea earthquake and strike on undersea base. Unlike the other quakes that were caused by sonic beam weapons fired by the people of the Procyon star system, continuing this policing action under the flag of the Andromeda Council to destroy all Draco and Hydra Reptilian undersea bases, this kind of action was not necessary to cause the actual quake. This quake itself was a completely natural occurrence, just planet Earth continuing her evolution. I was notified around 9:30 p.m. this Thursday evening, February 16, 2012, via telepathy by the commander of the primary biosphere where many of the Andromeda Council meetings are held, of this 5.1 magnitude earthquake and the destruction of this specific Draco and Hydra Reptilian controlled undersea base. This is the base that was on this north-south oriented pencil-shaped 90 east ridge. This is how we've always referred to it. As the pencil-shaped undersea base. This particular earthquake opened up an existing crevice, a large crack running east-west across the lower portion of what people might perceive as the bottom of the pencil eraser head. As you can see by the two Google Terrametrics maps provided by NASA, with the location of the 5.1 magnitude quake indicated by the green arrow. And the star which I've included for your reading ease in the map directly below, you will notice and see cracks fissures on the ocean floor which run east-west from the area of the quake to the location of the area of where the beginning of this Reptilian undersea base was located. In the maps I've provided in my reports, I've consistently indicated the location of bases by a little white box with the crosshairs in the middle. Yes, there have been numerous quakes that have happened in this area over time. They have continued to weaken and destabilize the overall landmass in this area, including this pencil-shaped ridge. Underneath the pencil-shaped ridge all throughout this area there are multiple pockets under the ocean floor. Think of this area as being like Swiss cheese with a bunch of little holes. This particular 5.1 quake caused the collapse of the substructure of the ground in this area, and directly underneath the ridge upon which this extensive base was sitting because at least one of these cracks fissures opened very wide, causing the Swiss cheese substructure area underneath the ridge to collapse. Just as important, here is why the people of Procyon knew this 5.1 quake would be the quake to take advantage of to destroy this specific undersea reptilian base. They looked down the timeline to check which would be the best quake to use in this specific location that would cause the greatest damage to the substructure of the Swiss cheese-like ground underneath the ridge. Having tracked all of the previous recent quakes and tremors in this area, they were keenly aware of the high degree of destabilization that existed. And they knew that this quake would be the one to open wide at least one of the cracks fissures on the ocean floor which would rip across the basin to the upper part of the pencil base, causing the most crippling damage to this ridge. The actual Procyon sonic strike of the Draco and Hydra Reptilian undersea base. After the quake hit, the people of Procyon used their sonic beam energy weapons to pound the whole expanse of this undersea base, repeatedly striking at, and destroying, moving from north to south all of the areas and segments of the base that had not yet collapsed. In total there were about 100 plus buildings of various sizes that comprised this whole undersea base, city-size complex. This area is now completely collapsed and destroyed so that nothing large exists. No buildings exist. Nothing. The people of Procyon obliterated it to this degree so that no malevolent extraterrestrials can ever live in and occupy this base complex again. If people were able to go into a submarine and view the remains of this undersea base complex today, they would only find rubble. It took about a total of 3 hours total time to destroy this whole undersea base complex. In closing, a summary of what made taking out this particular base a challenge. Prior to this 5.1 magnitude quake, about 6 hours before the quake occurred, the people of Procyon sent in a stealth, kind of a Delta Force-type team to relocate a variety of families of the many civilian reptilians supporting this large undersea base. There are known to have been at one time 18,000+ reptilians on planet Earth. Understand, this specific base was the largest, most extensive, undersea support base complex of Draco and Hydra reptilian operations on Earth. This extensive pencil-shaped base complex housed approximately 5,000 families incorporating 11,000 reptilians in total, in what was essentially a small underwater city. These family members included reptilian civil workers, fathers, mothers, primarily support staff of these 11,000. There were also approximately 1,000 remaining few reptilian warrior soldiers protecting this base, though many had already been shipped out through star gates from the prior base destructions. Of the 11,000 reptilian beings living in this base, the people from Procyon were able to relocate and send through a star gate about 7,000 of these family members during about 2.5 hours' time. To the far reaches of the universe, to the same planet as the other reptilians relocated in other prior undersea base cleanup and destroy operations. There were about 3,000 reptilian military family members, support staff, that stayed behind, and 1,000 warrior soldier reptilians that stayed behind. These warrior soldiers were the extremists, determined to fight till the end, or die trying. About 300 of these warrior soldiers, the do-or-die extremists, had come from either the shut down or destroyed other undersea and underground bases. End of report. Tolek. Andromeda Council removing undersea bases from Middle East and China. Tolek, you've consistently said since early September of this year that people primarily from the Procyon star system, and assisted by others affiliated with the Andromeda Council, have been taking out and collapsing the reptilian and gray underground bases. First the one in Virginia back in late August, and soon after others across the U.S. plus reptilian and gray underground bases operated in part by certain military factions of the powers that be were, the Illuminati, etc. And you've consistently said that highly focused, directed and pinpointed sonic beams have been used to collapse these bases. 1. How exactly do they, the people from Procyon, do this? Answer: well, Alfred, please keep in mind, this conversation is simply an extension of our very first discussion about the war in space. For people who are hearing this information for the first time, they can listen to the first interview and discussion we had, which focuses on the outcome of the war in space, and or refer to page 4 of the Andromeda Council website, http://www. It's titled, The Real Backstory, The Reasons for Change. The war in space is over. It's a good brief summary. This specific police action of taking out reptilian and gray underground bases, plus it's the continuance of a cleanup operation down here on Earth, plus that's the final phase of a proxy war the star systems and planets of the Andromeda Council have fought and won to free the people of planet Earth, plus in first defeating these malevolent aliens out in space, especially these Draco and Hydra-based reptilians. Everything I've learned about these highly intelligent, but really bad, vicious species, these specific reptilians, plus indicates they are overall very mean, vicious, calculating, manipulating, literally cold-blooded in their actions, plus and very self-centered. They generally don't care about anyone else unless it serves their purposes. And for years they've simply perceived us humans on Earth, and perceived our planet, as natural resources plus to be consumed. Back to the actual technology, it's technology the people of Procyon have developed and successfully used. They've used this technology as one of the means to help liberate themselves from the reptilians and greys in their own war, plus in which they won their freedom about 12 years ago. So, as to using this technology to take out the bases, the people from Procyon use highly focused, directed and pinpointed sonic energy beams, specifically attenuated and adjusted to certain specific frequencies, meant to do two things. A. Disrupt and disable the mental thought patterns, the brain waves, of reptilians and greys that were either controlling, manipulating and or enforcing a secretive, scientific, administrative, operations and soldier workforce in these bases. For this effort they used one specifically highly attenuated, high-frequency, sonic beam that would incapacitate them. The humans in these bases, on the other hand, would not hear this sound, did not hear this sound, nor would they be affected by it. And as you know, humans were removed from these facilities. B. The second goal was meant to obliterate, destroy, and collapse the physical structure of these underground bases. It was meant to ensure these bases would become completely inoperable and closed off. For this effort the people from Procyon used a highly concentrated, but much lower frequency and far more compressed sonic beam plus meant to destruct matter. It does the job quite well. They thumped these bases pretty good. So, no more operable bases. 2. You recently said they've had very good success in taking out many other bases around the globe, that it's been pretty easy going actually. But you also said they're having somewhat of a challenge with a couple of specific bases. Can you talk about these? Answer: I sure can, but only in some detail. I don't want to speak about specific locations, and I don't want to give away any strategic or tactical information I know about plus in terms of the Andromeda Council's plans to take these bases out. 3. You've told me the Middle East region has an undersea base. What can you tell me about this particular base? Answer: Well, first off, it's located in the area of the Gulf of Aden. This gulf is located in the Arabian Sea between Yemen, on the south coast of the Arabian Peninsula, and Somalia in the Horn of Africa. In the northwest, it connects with the Red Sea through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, which is about 20 miles wide. Because of what I've learned from my Andromedan contacts about this matter, I did some research and found out that the Gulf of Aden is already a dangerous area known as Pirate Alley because of the historically large amount of pirate activities located here. I've sent you a Google photo and a simple map of this area. As you may or may not know, the vortex phenomena also happened in this body of water, the Gulf of Aden. Further, my Andromedan contacts have told me this base is deep, thousands of feet underwater, about 1.5 miles deep. And this base has for years beamed a very specific, highly irritating and highly agitating, fear-based and anger-inducing, attenuated sonic frequency plus right at the area of the Middle East, due north-northeast plus to keep the people in this area in a constant, high state of emotional confusion, fear, agitation, anger and aggression. They've shown me, there is a transmitter that literally rises out of the ceiling of this base, much like a periscope in a submarine, and it rotates. A particular frequency is chosen which turns people against each other. Then the reptilians turn it on. They turn it on almost every day. However, if people were underwater, or standing on the land, they would not be able to this frequency, this beam, with their own eyes. It's sonic, a sound frequency. And, it's out of our spectrum. But, this is how the reptilians dominate and control these people. This particular base has been in operation about 5,000 years. And the highly agitating sonic vibratory energies beamed from this base also reach as far as Syria, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan and a bunch of other countries in the region. This is powerful technology that is very far-ranging, reaches a very long distance plus serious long-range capability. And it only takes about 15 minutes of operation, of this transmitter being on and activated plus 4 people in this area to start to feel its effects. Explains a lot, doesn't it? 4. You've told me there is a base off of the coast of China. What can you tell me about this operation? Answer: Yes, this undersea base is also in deep water, much like the undersea base in the Middle East region. This base is thousands of feet deep in the ocean off of the coast of China plus it's about mile down located on the ocean floor. This specific base has also been here a long time, in operation for about 3,000 years. This base, like the one in the Middle East, has also beamed a very focused, very specifically attenuated fear-based frequency. It's a different sonic frequency but it works the same way, beamed right toward the Asian mainland plus meant to keep the people, the population of China, of this whole region as best as possible, in a place of constant emotional fear, intimidation, anxiety and control. For years these people have been highly manipulated and highly controlled plus in a constant state of fear for their lives, mode. They have so few freedoms, living under the strict regime of the government. Even if this specific transmitter is set at a low level, it's still effective. It's turned on for approximately 30 minutes at a time. Like the undersea transmitter in the Middle East, it also rotates. Its reach is also long-range and can affect the Korean Peninsula, China, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia and other countries in this region. This is the intent of this specific energy frequency, control and manipulation through continually perpetuated fear and anxiety. Which of course generates more fear. But let's ask why. This is more important, why? Well, the reptilians and the greys soak up, they literally feed off of negative energy, negative emotions, like anxiety, fear, terror, much like the human drug classification of amphetamines. The reptilians, they crave this human emotion fear, as a consumable, as one food source. As with any drug, the more they have, the more they want. So, you can see why a base like this is so important to the reptilians and Greys, plus as it controls a very large population of people, the people of the country of China, and a good portion of the Asian continent. Think of this, a whole population of people, controlled, manipulated and monitored, plus held in check in a constant state of fear. That's a huge source of food, or if you will, of a drug. So, if this base off of the coast of China gets taken out like many of the other bases, then you take away the reason for the need for the control and the fear. You eliminate the source of the problem. No base, no reptilians and Greys. No base, no need for perpetual control and fear. Pretty simple. 5. Can you tell me why these specific bases are more problematic than any others, are more of a challenge to take out? Answer. Both of these bases, the one south of the Saudi Arabian, UAE, Yemen, Oman Peninsula, this is the one in the Gulf of Aden, and the one off of the coast of China, both are well-fortified, reinforced fortresses, if you will, deep underwater bases located on the ocean floor. Each is a large operational, underwater base with a domed roof, and an energy shield protecting each base. They are simply well protected. A matter of importance. But, taking out the reptilian base on the floor of the ocean south of the Saudi Arabian, UAE, Yemen, Oman Peninsula is a priority, a much more pressing matter. The reason is simple. As you know, Earth's history continues to repeat itself year after year. The squabbling, the skirmishes in this region, these have gone on for thousands of years. And the original reasons for these skirmishes have gotten blown way out of proportion. With help from the reptilian undersea base, as you can understand. And the constant bombardment of this region with a highly disruptive, agitation, confusion, anger and fear-based sonic energy beamed from the transmitter from this specific undersea base plus continues to escalate the possibility of full-blown war in this region. Constant fighting, constant irritation, constant bickering plus even among their own people. And they don't even realize what is going on. They don't even know the reason why. The undersea base with its transmitter. In closing, I'm going to quote the commander of Primary Andromeda Council Biosphere. When I asked him about this situation, he said, "The people in this area are being played much like what you call pawns on a chessboard, and they have no knowledge as to how, why, or how long this has taken place. We have to, and we will put a stop to this. This undersea base will be taken out." Yes, outside parties, with outside interests, have attempted nuclear strikes in order to start a full-scale war in this region. Which we have stopped, disabled and neutralized their bombs, a few times. Yes, we had a hand in this. Understand, a full-scale nuclear war cannot and will not happen in this region. We will not allow actions that permit nuclear war to start by either side. The impact would be far too great to your planet, your people, and the rest of your solar system. What you do on Earth affects us all. Anything else I might say about this situation would get into tactical or strategic information. I can't and won't do this. The goal is simply to put an end to the mostly unknown, unaware enslavement plus of the people of Earth. And the end of this war in space is concluding with the destruction of the underground and undersea bases on Earth, and removal of these malevolent reptilians and their regressive Grey associates from our world. Earth is our planet. And we have a right to be free, sovereign people. To read an Andromeda Council published news story and listen to interviews on this topic, please go to Elenin, Tacoma and Nibiru. The facts about each of these celestial bodies. 1. What is Elenin? Answer. It is a natural celestial body, a small comet, but made up of more rock than ice and gas. It literally clears the way for the arrival of Tacoma, a brown dwarf about the size of Uranus, trailing behind it. Elenin with its elliptical orbit will come into Earth's solar system, in a manner of speaking deposit Tacoma, and then leave. 2. Many people on Earth are aware of a pyramid shape that now seems to be located in place of, or covering Elenin. What is this about? Answer. We are aware of technology, a monitoring device if you will, that is projecting a pyramid-shaped force field over the general area of Comet Elenin. It seems only when a problem would occur in space would this device be activated such as it was. It seems this technology is also keeping Elenin and Tacoma on course to minimize possible disruptions by Tacoma to Earth's solar system. 3. Then why is Elenin coming toward Earth's solar system? Answer: Elenin is simply clearing the way for Tacoma. 4. Will the arrival of Elenin itself directly cause any disruptions or Earth changes? Answer: no. 5. Then what is Tacoma? Answer: it is a brown dwarf about the size of the planet Uranus. It should arrive in Earth's solar system approximately this coming mid-October 2011, and is expected to settle into this solar system as a new, albeit smaller, not quite as bright, second sun. It is expected to settle in place between Venus and Earth 4 but much closer to Venus than to Earth. 6. What about the possible disruptions to this solar system, more importantly to Earth, with the arrival of Tacoma? Answer: a combination of multiple Andromeda Council biospheres, you could also call them planetoids. These are essentially very large star ships. They each have a complement of a few thousand crew people. Collectively these biospheres will project their combined force fields to envelop and buffer planet Earth 4 and many other planets in Earth's solar system as Tacoma arrives. Their efforts will, as much as possible, minimize the potential vibratory effects and disruptions to planet Earth as Tacoma arrives and settles into place. 7. Isn't there already a brown dwarf occasionally visible to Earth, next to Earth's sun? Answer: good question. Yes, there is. It has been there for a long time. It is in the process of turning from red to brown, however, as measured from your sun, it is approximately 3 billion light-years distant away from your sun. Because of its distance, you on planet Earth rarely see it. 8. Why is Tacoma coming to Earth's solar system? Answer: this event, its arrival, is part of its own evolution. It is also the destiny of this solar system to become a binary star system. As a result, Tacoma will also lighten your night sky, that is to say it will make your night sky brighter. From this point forward your night sky will look much more like twilight throughout the various night times occurring around your planet. 8a. What will Earth's night sky look like with Tacoma in it? Nighttime. People on Earth will see Tacoma as a mixture of pale yellow and pale orange color at around 8 o'clock, as you would say, on a clock face. Nihohia will seem to have horizontal bands of pale pink, pale purple, pale blue colors, and its moon will be seen as pale bluish-white color at just due northeast of 7 o'clock. You would see your own Earth moon at around 2 p.m. Compared to the daytime. These new celestial bodies will all look bigger at night. 8b. What will Earth's daytime sky look like with Tacoma in it? Daytime. People on Earth will continue to see the sun, large and yellow, Tacoma, the brown dwarf, as a body of light, a very small sun throwing off an orange color. Tacoma, compared to your sun, will be about the size of what you would call a new, unused, pencil eraser head. Nihohia, the planet, would be about the size of 4 if you took a well-used pencil and made a dot on a piece of paper. That's how big Nihohia will appear to be, and its moon as if you made a dot with a fine point pen. That's how big its moon will appear to be. Prospectively, all would be located, if you think of your sun as a round clock face, all would be located in the lower right-hand corner at around between 4 to 5 o'clock. 9. Then what is Nihohia? Answer: Nihohia is a small planet accompanying Tacoma. It is smaller than Pluto, and it brings a very small moon with it. Both are in orbit very close to Tacoma. There are humans living under the planet's surface of Nihohia in underground cities. Some people are what you would call Caucasian-looking, and some are soft, pale blue-skinned looking who are distant cousins of 4 people of blue-skinned heritage first written about in the oldest texts of ancient India. The races of Nihohia have intermixed as well. A person from Earth speaking Hindi today would in some manner be able to speak with these people. They are very calm, harmonious, peaceful people. They are also very highly evolved people. They do not fight among themselves, at all. It is their destiny to come to this solar system, to evolve into the 4th dimension, and to help Earth people with their own multifaceted transition and transformation into this dimension. There are underground tunnels that go to the various central cities where these people live today. They have technology. Specifically, they have a force field in place to shield their planet. The force field protects their planet so that it will not break up, or be destroyed during their travels. Their moon has some space stations underground with people living in them. The same force field technology protecting Nihohia protects its moon. These people have been moving around the cosmos in Nihohia for about 100,000 years, and in a cordial friendly way they have communicated with many other civilizations and peoples along their journey. They are currently a third-dimensional world with third-dimensional people. They will transform into a fourth-dimension world just like Earth. So will their people. 10. What about Nibiru? Answer: it is a planet about the size of Jupiter. It is trailing somewhat behind Tacoma. 11. Is it inhabited? Are there people living on, or underground, the planet Nibiru? Answer: yes. There are fourth-dimensional people living on Nibiru. Nibiru's people became fourth-dimensional within the past 2,000 years of Earth time. They would be known to the people of Earth as the Anunnaki. But in reality the Anunnaki are only a small portion, a small clan of the majority of the people who are known as the Nibi. 12. What is going to happen in terms of Nibiru entering Earth's solar system? Answer: nothing. Nibiru will not enter Earth's solar system. On behalf of the people of Earth, and the people of Nibiru, the Andromeda Council has negotiated with the people of Nibiru to not interfere with the people of Earth. As part of this negotiation, the Andromeda Council has secured the help of fifth-dimensional beings to use their technology to push the trajectory of Nibiru forward to literally pass far over the top of Earth's solar system. Therefore, there will be no cause and effects, no Earth changes caused from Nibiru passing over the top of Earth's solar system. None. To Earth's solar system, it would feel as if a gentle breeze would be blowing by. 13. Approximately when, which month of Earth time, will Nibiru pass over the top of Earth's solar system? Answer: Nibiru is projected to pass over the top of Earth's solar system for approximately sometime between late November to mid-December 2011. Again, to Earth's solar system it would only feel as if a gentle breeze would be blowing by, nothing more. 14. Even though fifth-dimensional beings will use their technology to push the planned trajectory of Nibiru to instead pass over the top of Earth's solar system, will there still be any cause and effects from Nibiru on this solar system, in terms of evoking any Earth changes or disruptions? Answer: no, there will be no cause and effects from Nibiru passing over Earth's solar system. 15. What might be the primary cause of any possible Earth changes that are being openly discussed by so many Earth people, having to do with 2012 and beyond? Answer: most of the possible Earth changes being discussed projected to happen from 2012, throughout all of 2013, would be caused by highly charged magnetic energies at the core of a black hole, at the center of the galactic equatorial plane, that Earth's solar system is about to cross. This black hole, and the fourth-dimensional band of higher, faster, frequency energy in the galactic equatorial plane zone, both are projected to cause magnetic disturbances resulting in the literal increased and agitated vibration of planet Earth. This band of energy vibrates at a fourth-dimensional frequency that Earth and its solar system is in the process of just now entering, and will vibrate at for the foreseeable future for at least a few thousand years. Again, keep in mind, as the website indicates, there are a number of Andromeda Council-flagged biospheres, or planetoids, star ships with a crew complement of thousands if you will, which are projecting force fields around the planet Earth. The Andromeda Council, using the strength of its combined force fields, will do its utmost to minimize and mitigate as much as possible for the agitating energy of the black hole, and the heightened vibration of the fourth dimension, on planet Earth. It remains to be seen how severe, or not, the degree to which the agitating energy and heightened vibration of fourth-dimensional space 4 will affect planet Earth. But there will be change to the planet. In order for Earth to evolve, for it must adjust, and it must become balanced again. In order for Earth to become balanced, the shifting of the Earth's crust must happen to put the planet back into alignment. Elenin, Tacoma, and Nibiru. The facts about each of these celestial bodies. 1. What is Elenin? Answer: it is a natural celestial body, a small comet, but made up of more rock than ice and gas. It literally clears the way for the arrival of Tacoma, a brown dwarf about the size of Uranus, trailing behind it. Elenin with its elliptical orbit will come into Earth's solar system, in a manner of speaking deposit Tacoma, and then leave. 2. Many people on Earth are aware of a pyramid shape that now seems to be located in place of, or covering Elenin. What is this about? Answer: we are aware of technology, a monitoring device if you will, that is projecting a pyramid-shaped force field over the general area of Comet Elenin. It seems only when a problem would occur in space would this device be activated such as it was. It seems this technology is also keeping Elenin and Tacoma on course to minimize possible disruptions by Tacoma to Earth's solar system. 3. Then why is Elenin coming toward Earth's solar system? Answer: Elenin is simply clearing the way for Tacoma. 4. Will the arrival of Elenin itself directly cause any disruptions or Earth changes? Answer: no. 5. Then what is Tacoma? Answer: it is a brown dwarf about the size of the planet Uranus. It should arrive in Earth's solar system approximately this coming mid-October 2011, and is expected to settle into this solar system as a new, albeit smaller, not quite as bright, second sun. It is expected to settle in place between Venus and Earth 4 but much closer to Venus than to Earth. 6. What about the possible disruptions to this solar system, more importantly to Earth, with the arrival of Tacoma? Answer: a combination of multiple Andromeda Council biospheres, you could also call them planetoids. These are essentially very large starships. They each have a complement of a few thousand crew people. Collectively these biospheres will project their combined force fields to envelop and buffer planet Earth 4 and many other planets in Earth's solar system as Tacoma arrives. Their efforts will, as much as possible, minimize the potential vibratory effects and disruptions to planet Earth as Tacoma arrives and settles into place. 7. Isn't there already a brown dwarf occasionally visible to Earth, next to Earth's sun? Answer: good question. Yes, there is. It has been there for a long time. It is in the process of turning from red to brown, however, as measured from your sun, it is approximately 3 billion light-years distant away from your sun. Because of its distance, you on planet Earth rarely see it. 8. Why is Tacoma coming to Earth's solar system? Answer: this event, its arrival, is part of its own evolution. It is also the destiny of this solar system to become a binary star system. As a result, Tacoma will also lighten your night sky, that is to say it will make your night sky brighter. From this point forward your night sky will look much more like twilight throughout the various night times occurring around your planet. 8a. What will Earth's night sky look like with Tacoma in it? Nighttime, people on Earth will see Tacoma as a mixture of pale yellow and pale orange color at around 8 o'clock, as you would say, on a clock face. Nihohia will seem to have horizontal bands of pale pink, pale purple, pale blue colors, and its moon will be seen as pale bluish-white color at just due northeast of 7 o'clock. You would see your own Earth moon at around 2 p.m. Compared to the daytime. These new celestial bodies will all look bigger at night. 8b. What will Earth's daytime sky look like with Tacoma in it? Daytime, people on Earth will continue to see the sun, large and yellow, Tacoma, the brown dwarf, as a body of light, a very small sun throwing off an orange color. Tacoma, compared to your sun, will be about the size of what you would call a new, unused, pencil eraser head. Nihohia, the planet, would be about the size of 4 if you took a well-used pencil and made a dot on a piece of paper. That's how big Nihohia will appear to be, and its moon as if you made a dot with a fine point pen. That's how big its moon will appear to be. Prospectively, all would be located, if you think of your sun as a round clock face, all would be located in the lower right-hand corner at around between 4 to 5 o'clock. 9. Then what is Nihohia? Answer: Nihohia is a small planet accompanying Tacoma. It is smaller than Pluto, and it brings a very small moon with it. Both are in orbit very close to Tacoma. There are humans living under the planet's surface of Nihohia in underground cities. Some people are what you would call Caucasian-looking, and some are soft, pale blue-skinned looking who are distant cousins of 4 people of blue-skinned heritage first written about in the oldest texts of ancient India. The races of Nihohia have intermixed as well. A person from Earth speaking Hindi today would in some manner be able to speak with these people. They are very calm, harmonious, peaceful people. They are also very highly evolved people. They do not fight among themselves, at all. It is their destiny to come to this solar system, to evolve into the 4th dimension, and to help Earth people with their own multifaceted transition and transformation into this dimension. There are underground tunnels that go to the various central cities where these people live today. They have technology. Specifically, they have a force field in place to shield their planet. The force field protects their planet so that it will not break up, or be destroyed during their travels. Their moon has some space stations underground with people living in them. The same force field technology protecting Nihohia protects its moon. These people have been moving around the cosmos in Nihohia for about 100,000 years, and in a cordial friendly way they have communicated with many other civilizations and peoples along their journey. They are currently a third-dimensional world with third-dimensional people. They will transform into a fourth-dimension world just like Earth. So will their people. 10. What about Nibiru? Answer: it is a planet about the size of Jupiter. It is trailing somewhat behind Tacoma. 11. Is it inhabited? Are there people living on, or underground, the planet Nibiru? Answer: yes. There are fourth-dimensional people living on Nibiru. Nibiru's people became fourth-dimensional within the past 2,000 years of Earth time. They would be known to the people of Earth as the Anunnaki. But in reality the Anunnaki are only a small portion, a small clan of the majority of the people who are known as the Nibi. 12. What is going to happen in terms of Nibiru entering Earth's solar system? Answer: nothing. Nibiru will not enter Earth's solar system. On behalf of the people of Earth, and the people of Nibiru, the Andromeda Council has negotiated with the people of Nibiru to not interfere with the people of Earth. As part of this negotiation, the Andromeda Council has secured the help of fifth-dimensional beings to use their technology to push the trajectory of Nibiru 4 to literally pass far over the top of Earth's solar system. Therefore, there will be no cause and effects, no Earth changes caused from Nibiru passing over the top of Earth's solar system. None. To Earth's solar system, it would feel as if a gentle breeze would be blowing by. 13. Approximately when, which month of Earth time, will Nibiru pass over the top of Earth's solar system? Answer: Nibiru is projected to pass over the top of Earth's solar system for approximately sometime between late November to mid-December 2011. Again, to Earth's solar system it would only feel as if a gentle breeze would be blowing by, nothing more. 14. Even though fifth-dimensional beings will use their technology to push the planned trajectory of Nibiru to instead pass over the top of Earth's solar system, will there still be any cause and effects from Nibiru on this solar system, in terms of evoking any Earth changes or disruptions? Answer: no, there will be no cause and effects from Nibiru passing over Earth's solar system. 15. What might be the primary cause of any possible Earth changes that are being openly discussed by so many Earth people, having to do with 2012 and beyond? Answer: most of the possible Earth changes being discussed projected to happen from 2012, throughout all of 2013, would be caused by highly charged magnetic energies at the core of a black hole, at the center of the galactic equatorial plane, that Earth's solar system is about to cross. This black hole, and the fourth-dimensional band of higher, faster, frequency energy in the galactic equatorial plane zone, both are projected to cause magnetic disturbances resulting in the literal increased and agitated vibration of planet Earth. This band of energy vibrates at a fourth-dimensional frequency that Earth and its solar system is in the process of just now entering, and will vibrate at for the foreseeable future for at least a few thousand years. Again, keep in mind, as the website indicates, there are a number of Andromeda Council-flagged biospheres, or planetoids, star ships with a crew complement of thousands if you will, which are projecting force fields around the planet Earth. The Andromeda Council, using the strength of its combined force fields, will do its utmost to minimize and mitigate as much as possible for the agitating energy of the black hole, and the heightened vibration of the fourth dimension, on planet Earth. It remains to be seen how severe, or not, the degree to which the agitating energy and heightened vibration of fourth-dimensional space 4 will affect planet Earth. But there will be change to the planet. In order for Earth to evolve, for it must adjust, and it must become balanced again. In order for Earth to become balanced, the shifting of the Earth's crust must happen to put the planet back into alignment.